The security guard will return in 1 hour and 55 minutes from the moment I start the timers. Their return will signal that you have 5 minutes remaining. When your 2 hours are up, I will need to give them either the money or the signed pro forma.
We set up Kaleider 3 years ago at the same time as making our own work. We also have a studio where we invite other people in and we kind of huddle. And the reason that we huddle is because what we try to do is approach some of the biggest challenges in the world, such as the challenges of climate change, peaking oil, peaking minerals, ongoing fiscal crisis, like the show The Money is dealing with.
Everything you need to know is in here.
In The Money, you can either be a benefactor or a silent witness. And if you're a benefactor, you pay a minimum of £10 or as much as you like. And if you're a silent witness, you watch. And the benefactors have 2 hours to come to a unanimous decision about how they spend the money. And if they decide, they get to take the money away and spend it. And if they don't decide, it rolls over to the next event.
Who's feeling altruistic and who's feeling selfish?
It's a deceptively simple concept. It's actually got a beautiful shape to the show. And the show, oddly, it's called The Money. The money is in the middle of the table, but it's sort of not about money. It's actually about how we work together to come to an agreed outcome.
I actually wanted to spend all of the money on lottery tickets so that the money would go back into charity and a percentage would go back into the arts and that we too could get some sort of financial gain.
One of the reasons that I wanted to make The Money was because I think that ownership is a totally ridiculous human concept. And money is a counting system for ownership. So for me, it was about going, look how we are around money. So the context we want to then play that show out is not in a theatre where people are being objective about it. It's actually in a real space. So we try and put it in civic decision-making spaces.
I'd quite like it to go to somebody who's really in a bad situation, that it might help them. 500 quid might do something for an individual to get them out of a dreadful situation.
What happens over the duration of the 2 hours is that at the very beginning, you go, really? 2 hours of this? How is that possible? And then the show starts to kind of pick up. And about 40 minutes until the timer ends, it starts to really rise. And it can really go right up at the end when there's this kind of peril of will people come to a unanimous decision or not? And everyone in the room starts to go, are they going to do it? Are they not going to do it?
Sorry. So excited.
I'd like to buy in, thanks. Here's our money. I don't agree. The thing on the sheet says, what can you do together that you can't do alone? And if you're taking £40 by yourself, then you're not doing it together. And it seems like, well, how do I know that you're not just going to put it in your pocket?
We aren't very good at looking at the most challenging things because they're too difficult for us to process. So we tend to turn away from them.
We have to all agree, otherwise it ain't going to happen.
And I'm not on a campaign. I'm just going, this is a really interesting context from which to make work.
Seriously, are we all agreeing? Come on, we're literally going to run out of time. Food bank.
Agreeing.
I'd rather give it some
Food bank. Food bank. Come on, man.
And what I see is a lot of people either making very political work about that's kind of on a campaign, or totally ignoring it.
Okay, literally, I think there's 50 seconds left.
And I'm actually really interested in holding a space to try and process some of those really difficult challenges.